Hi, today I'm going to talk about food shortages. Now, we already see shortages all throughout the country and all over the world. But mostly in America, it is because of the Biden policies. It is not because Russia went into Ukraine. Let me explain this. It is not. And I will tell you why. Gas prices were already on the rise well before Russia decided to go into Ukraine. Store shelves were already getting empty long before Russia decided to go into Ukraine. Now, the only thing the Biden administration has said that has been truthful is one thing. Food shortages are coming. But here's the thing, they are already here. If you haven't prepared, there's nothing I can do to help you. I mean, nothing. I will show you why I do believe food shortages are already here. Now, you can most likely see a lot of shelves in your stores that are empty, barren, or stuff has been moved around or just pulled to the front and there's nothing behind it. Most likely you've already seen this. And you saw that long before Russia went into Ukraine. You've seen prices go up on everything from fuel to groceries to your electric bill. And a lot of people on their rent. That has to do with the Democrat policies. But I'm not going to get into how stupid Democrats are. We already know they're idiots. They vote Democrat, period. Most Democrats will not admit when they're wrong. And boy, were you people wrong. When you put Joe Biden in the White House, you screwed the entire country. Good job. You know, I went to the store not that long ago. Prices are going up. And I've talked about those little rice sides, noodle sides. They went up in price, 20 cents per pouch. That means you used to be able to buy 6? Okay, 5. You used to be able to buy 5 of those for $5. At least I could. Now, I can buy 4 for $5. That's a big difference when you're trying to stockpile food or save food. Prices. And just because Russia went into Ukraine doesn't mean that affected what has happened here. Because it doesn't really affect us a whole lot until next year. See, the food you're getting now was harvested last year. A lot of it was harvested, processed, packaged. The Biden policies went after the truckers, went after gas and oil companies. They've gone after farmers. And here's the thing that gets me. We rely a lot on other countries to get things like wheat. Why? Ethanol. When our government mandated a lot of farmers grow corn for ethanol, they screwed us. But they did it anyway. And for Joe Biden, of all people, to come out and say there's going to be a food shortage, you better damn well believe it's already here, and it has already been here for the past 6 months. Because Democrats never come out and say anything until they're absolutely backed into a corner. They will not admit to anything unless it has already been seen for at least 6 months. I see it. You see it. Every time somebody goes to a store, we see it. Now, I want to go through something the freeze-dried stuff I have. I did order one more thing, and I'm waiting on it to come in, and I'll show you a little bit later, and I'm going to talk about why I already know food shortages are here. Because the company I get my freeze-dried stuff from, they're out of a lot of stuff. They can't get it. They can't make the freeze-dried foods if they can't get the food to make it into the freeze-dried. I'm going to go through all my freeze-dried stuff, and I'm going to talk about it, and I'm going to tell you why you don't buy freeze-dried right now. You go to your store, you stockpile on canned goods, rice, even dry beans and pasta if you can find it. Because the price has gone up so high on a lot of things that you can't afford it. Now, I'm going to show you on my girlfriend's computer in a little bit, because I'll have to flip the phone camera and use the other part of the camera. But I'm going to talk about the prices I paid compared to what they are yesterday, which was March 26th of 2022. And you're going to see why, if you haven't already got stuff, you may have already screwed yourself. They still have the milk. They still have the potatoes. Now this is something I did get from a different company, I believe. I may have got it from them. I'll have to look. It's over on my girlfriend's other computer. But you can still buy the powdered butter. Let's get into the other stuff. I did buy a bag of green beans. It is coming in the mail. But when I purchased that bag, they only had 4. 4 to sell. That was it. 4. Let's go through something they don't have right now. Hamburger patties. In fact, they have no beef whatsoever. Boneless pork chops. They don't have any pork either. And sliced ham. They don't have it. And they have a limited amount of the pulled chicken. If you recall, if you've watched any of my videos on the freeze-dried stuff, when I talked about that, I showed their website where they had chicken tenders and, you know, ground hamburger. They have none of that. They can't get the stuff to make it into the freeze-dried. They just can't get it. And the prices have skyrocketed on a lot of stuff. Now I'm going to tell you, if you are going to buy freeze-dried, make sure they have a make offer option where you can offer them an offer. Now I'm going to tell you why. On the green beans, I saved a little bit of money, even though they only had 4 pouches when I ordered the green beans. And I'll show you what I paid, and I'll show you how much they actually are charging, because they can't get any of this stuff. If a company like this that takes this, freeze dries it, and sells it, can't get the meats, vegetables to do this with, and they sell it for a profit, a huge profit. If they can't get that stuff, there's a shortage. Biden's policies did this. Democrat voters did this. This has nothing to do with Russia and Ukraine. Nothing. Now next year, when things get really, really bad, that will have to do with Russia and Ukraine. But Right now, no. This has to do with Democrat policies. Now, if you want to buy freeze-dried stuff, go for it. But I'm going to go through something. I'm going to show you the cost of buying freeze-dried. Just for this small amount here, and I have one package coming in the mail of green beans. One of these. Now, I do have 3 cans of butter because when they sent the first can, the can was dented. I notified them. They sent another can that the delivery company lost, so they sent me another one. Finally, the delivery company delivered the second can that was sent, and when I asked them if they wanted it back, they said no, keep it. Because it took them like a month and a half for me to get it, something like that. But for 1 can of butter and what I have here, I'll show you the cost. I'll show you the price. And you can see that if you took this same amount of money and went to a grocery store today, even today, you could get a lot more stuff than this. I don't know how many pieces are in each one of these bags. I can't tell you. I'm not going to open it to find out. There's probably 6 to 8 in here. Probably 6, 7, 8. And the pork chops, the hamburger patties, I'd say there's 6 in the hamburger patties maybe. I could be wrong. Potatoes, well, however much you scoop out is how much you're going to make. And of course the powdered milk and the butter. Now I do, like I said, I do have a bag of green beans coming. And there's a reason for that. Even if we eat ham and potatoes, you have to have something that gives you some extra vitamins, and just potatoes is not going to cut that. Eat hamburgers. I would make potatoes on the side for the hamburgers, but or pork chops. We could have green beans next to it. Then again, for the price of that bag of green beans, I could go to a store right now and get, if it was $1 a can, I could literally get 27 cans. That's how much this stuff costs. Stop blaming other countries for your screw-ups. Stop blaming other people for your screw-ups. This is 100% Biden and Democrat policies that are doing this to you. 100%. And people out there, they're yelling, it has to do with Russia and Ukraine. No, it doesn't. Gas prices were already going way up. Food prices were already going up. Stores were already missing stuff on the shelves. Truckers were already not driving because they were targeted by Biden and his administration. So they weren't driving and delivering goods to stores. Farmers could not get workers because all these stimulus checks and all this free money the Democrats handed out. And you did not sit there and think that this wasn't going to affect you down the road? We are in a depression. Whether you want to open your eyes and see it or not. And we're not the only country that's being affected by bad policies. When you've gone after truckers around the globe in different countries, you wonder why your stores aren't getting supplies. When you started handing out free money for people to stay home and watch crap on their computer, you didn't think that was going to affect things? It's left and Democrat policies. That's what's hurting you. That's what's going to keep hurting you. You Democrat voters in America, You did this. You voted for this, and now you're getting exactly what you voted for. But unfortunately, you drug the rest of us down with you. All because you didn't like tweets from Trump. I don't like your face. That doesn't mean I can do something about it. I don't like the way leftists talk and how they're against family values. There's not a damn thing I can do about that, is there? I can't get you canceled. It's your leftist and Democrat policies are the reason the stores are running short on food and have been for quite a while. It's your leftist and Democrat policies that are making gas prices skyrocket. It has nothing to do with Russia and Ukraine. And anyone that believes that is a damn fool, because food prices were already up. Store shelves were already getting empty. Costs were already going up for groceries, way before Russia did anything. Hot. So, you have a choice. We have the 2022 midterms coming up. What are you going to do? Are you going to keep voting for the same people that did this to you and everyone else? Of course Democrats will. Democrats are fucking idiots. They've proven that time and time again. Democrat voters are stupid. Most cities that have poor, crime-ridden, when you talk about racial discrimination and blacks being stuck in ghettos and projects, all those cities are ran by Democrats. But you idiots keep voting Democrat. And now your food cost is up, gas prices are up, you're lucky to find stuff on the store shelves. Hell, even cat food, of all things, cat food. When you go to a store and you can't find cat food, what do? You spend a whole lot of money getting it from somewhere else. I should know. Midnight has 29, 28, 29, 24, 30 cans of cat food up there. 30. Every time I go to a store, I don't care if it is chicken or fish. If they have the shreds, because he hates pate, I get battle scars. I don't know if you can see them. There. I get battle scars. If you feed him pate, he will attack you. He hates pate. But my stores here in Missoula, Montana, they are having trouble getting in cat food. Now, Midnight, he's a picky little shit. He likes the chicken shreds. He likes saucy seafood bake and fish, salmon, fish. But the problem is they're not getting hardly any of that in. So every time I go to the store, I pick up a can or 2 cans if they even have it. And I just had to order cat food online because they haven't carried the beef in my Walmarts for probably 4 months. There's the demon himself. So, are you going to keep blaming Russia? Or are you going to put the blame where it belongs? On your Democrat politicians and Democrat voters? Because all this started way before Russia did anything. And you think this year's bad? Wait till next year. Because remember, this year, you're getting last year's harvest in a lot of things. Next year, there is no harvest. Farmers didn't have workers. Gas prices skyrocketed. So, and fertilizer, of course, would be from Russia, but we can get it from other places. We just don't. Farmers aren't able to plant what they need to plant to keep us alive because they have to plant corn for ethanol. Once again, a bad policy. Alright, I'm fixing to stop this. Reverse the camera. And then I'm going to show you how much I paid for my stuff. And show you what they have today. And you'll understand why I said it may be too late for you to try to stock up on certain things. Hell, the hot dogs, of all things, cheap generic hot dogs has skyrocketed in price. Stores. A lot of stores are changing the Best Buy dates. Last time I went to the store, I got a loaf of bread. Had a great date on it. Literally, my girlfriend takes sandwiches to work. When the bread is already stiff and has a smell to it, that bread is old. But I'm going to show you exactly why you may be too late to start stockpiling food. Especially if your store shelves are empty with the things you really want to get. And don't let anyone tell you to don't put stuff back now, that you don't need to worry about it. Because here's the thing. This year, the harvest for this year will be next year's food supply. Farmers can't plant. Farmers can't grow. We don't have workers. Don't have truck drivers. You don't think that's going to affect us even more than this is now? You'd be a fool. Alright, I will be back in just a second. Okay, I told you I'd be back. Now, here's what I paid for the freeze-dried potatoes. I paid $17. The hamburger, I paid $32.50. The boneless center-cut pork chops, I paid $33. The milk, I paid $22. And the sliced ham, I paid $33. Now, I am going to show you something else. Hold on. The butter, I paid $16.95. Midnight, what are you doing? Ow. Now, this is what I just bought. Freeze-dried string beans. It's green beans. $27. And I also had to buy this. Because our Walmart has not got beef in probably 4 months. What do you want? I'll give you a damn noogie. You're in the way. I'm trying to make a video here. A 24 pack of cat food, $25.79. Now here is where I bought my stuff from. This is where I bought my freeze-dried stuff from. Now you see here, price shipping lowest first. They do have some chicken, but it is $52.10 for a bag that size. $52, and that's the cheapest meat they have right now. Then it has ground lamb at $53.50, veal $55.75, ground bison at $79.55. They have absolutely no hamburger, no pork, no turkey, and they are very limited. From what I saw, they're very, very, very limited on the chicken. Now, this was yesterday. Let's go to the next picture. Now, look at the prices of this. Now, think about this. The freeze-dried U.S. sliced potatoes, $19.60, and I paid $17, I believe. And this is, once again, lowest price to highest. Then they have diced potatoes, $21.16. Mashed potatoes, $24.80. $25 for mashed potatoes. Then they have potatoes, I guess that's hash browns. Yep, hash browns, $25.20. This is price, shipping lowest first. Price and shipping lowest first. And I paid like $17 if I remember right on that. So it's gone up like $2. The dairy. I paid $22 for our milk. It is now $25.48. And then it goes, the cheapest, next cheapest thing is shredded Parmesan cheese. And that's $37.24. Think about how high this stuff has gotten. Now here's the green beans right here. I paid $27. I did make them an offer. They accepted the offer, and they only had 4 when I ordered mine. And it was $28.84. I offered them $27, and they accepted that. That's the cheapest vegetable they have right now. Then it goes to beet chips, BEET, $37.96. Then dried U.S. tomato sauce powder, $43.40. You can't tell, and this is it. I mean, seriously, they have nothing in the vegetable department, really nothing. And the can of butter, I paid $16 and something. It is now $17.95. And see, that's from MRE Depot too. So it's the same seller. Now, here's what I paid. Right here. Freeze-dried potatoes, $17. They don't have the hamburger patties at all. I paid $32.50. Pork chops, $33. The milk, oh, excuse me, $22. I paid $22 for the milk. $33 for the sliced ham. They don't have any of this stuff. Nothing. The butter, $16.95. $1 more expensive right now than what I paid for it. And the green beans, I paid $27. I offered them $27. They accepted. Excuse me. But look at this. This is now. They don't have the pork. They don't have turkey. They don't have the hamburger patties. They have no ground beef. Nothing. They can't get it. And everything else is sky high. Think about it. This is Democrat policies. And they're almost out of this. So, right now, if you have money, they don't have that. They don't have that. They don't have that. They have this. They have this. And they have some of this. But as far as meat goes, they don't have any of this. Do not run out and buy a bunch of freeze-dried stuff. You don't have time. You don't have extra money to spend this kind of money. Oh, and I wanted you to see something. I said I would show you the total. Okay. I added everything up. This does include 1 can of butter, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 packs that are over there, and the green beans. We spent $181.45 just on the freeze-dried stuff and the powdered butter, which to me is freeze-dried. So that will be 6 bags of food and a can of powdered butter for $181.45. Now, if you went to the store right now with $150, you could get more than this, a lot more, and put it back. Now's not the time to be stockpiling freeze-dried. Now's not the time to be buying them goddamn emergency meals in the buckets. If you wanted them, fine. But they are not going to sustain you. I did a review from a video from a person called Loaded for Bear, I believe. You can go in my videos and find that one, where he survived on one of those, I think it was Ready Wise, big containers, the buckets, for like a week. The dude lost weight. He was dizzy. He couldn't focus because it's not real food in there. Most of it is like soup and a lot of carbs, and that's it. Hardly any vitamins. So if you haven't seen that video, look for Loaded for Bear, or go in my videos and I talk about his video. Right now is not the time to be buying this. Right now is the time to take what money you have, get your ass to a store, buy some of the cheapest shit you can buy, even if it's a bunch of damn hot dogs and a bunch of side dish meals like the cheddar broccoli rice and the butter noodles and some canned goods. Now's the time to go if you have not done this. Because Joe Biden, when he comes out and says there's going to be a food shortage, and he admits it, you know it's already gotten bad and it's just going to get worse. Do not spend that kind of money on freeze-dried. You don't need something that's going to last you 25 years. You need something until we get other members in the House and the Senate and the White House. That's another 3 years, hopefully. Hopefully the Democrats lose big time in the 2020 midterms. Hopefully. But Democrats are stupid people. They vote Democrat no matter what. They're a bunch of morons. And because they vote the way they vote, it's going to hurt you more and more and more. You don't need 25-year shelf life if you're going to have to get into it in a year. Or 6 months. Even 2 years. We got another 3 years of Joe Biden. If you don't think it's going to get worse than it already is, you're crazy. Don't spend this kind of money on freeze-dried. I mean, you couldn't get half of what I have right now for this price because they don't have the cheap stuff. They don't have the pork. They don't have the hamburger patties. Get your ass to a store. Buy as much as you can now. If they have cat food and you have a cat, if they got a shipment in, get as much as you can get. Because we've all seen these shelves empty. Even now. I can't tell you what to do. I really can't. You have to make up your own mind. Is it worth it to you? Huh? Are you one of them stupid people that voted Democrat? If you did, you brought this on us. Stop believing that this is because of Russia. Prices were already going way up before Russia did anything. Gas prices were already up. Fuel costs were already up. As far as heating and electricity was already up. Food costs were not only up, but missing food on the shelves. Stop blaming Russia for the Biden's failed policies. And stop making excuses for Biden when he screws up. You voted for this. It's what you got. And it's what you wanted. But because your bad choices, you're affecting everyone else. Alright, that's it. I'm fixing to go. I have to splice the two videos together I just made. And yes, I did make two videos before I can upload this. I don't care if you're in America. I don't care what country you're in. If your prices are that high, or you're missing food on your shelves, the thing is, hungry people become violent. Starving people will break into your house and slit your throat for a can of beans. The one question you have to ask yourself, hey, I voted for this. A lot of you did. Am I willing to kill somebody else for protecting what I have? Because they sure as hell will kill me to take what I have. Thing is, you voted for it. And if it gets that bad, there's going to be a lot of people suffering. And it's already gotten bad. When people have to choose between putting fuel in their car so they can get to work, or buying food, or buying medications, or paying their light bill because it skyrocketed 28% or whatever it was, and most people's rent has gone up because of all this. When you have to choose between paying your bills and buying food, what do? That's not a choice you should ever be put in. But Democrats voted for this. It's exactly what they wanted, and it's what they got. But unfortunately, it affects the rest of us. Alright, that's it. I'm fixing to go. I would say have a good day, but a lot of people are not going to have a good day. A lot of people are going to have one meal today if they're lucky. Right now is a bad time to be buying foods like this. And you're going, well, you did. Yes, I bought a bag of green beans to go with this mess because we have to have more than just potatoes if we have to get into this. But right now, it's a real bad time. And there's a reason. Now, I do have my other cans of butter down here. I didn't want to set them up there. There's food in there. Food there. Food in there. Food in there. Yes, we have been saving food and stockpiling when we can. I hope you've done the same. And I understand not everybody has money to run out and just buy stuff. But prices are already going up. And unless you can get it now, in a week or a month, you may not be able to afford it. Think about that. It's a bad time to buy any freeze-dried stuff right now. Except for maybe something like this, or maybe this. Because the price is pretty reasonable. But they don't have any of these. You saw the meats. Price lowest first. When a company this big, cannot get the meat and the vegetables to freeze dry, we're in trouble. Alright, that's it. Everybody, try not to starve. Do the best you can do. And I hope everybody makes it through what's coming. And remember, Democrats, they don't like to admit when they're wrong. And when a Democrat president comes out and says expect food shortages, you know the shit's already been here for 6 months. We've all seen it. We all know it. And that pea brain of his is just now catching up with reality. Okay, that's it. Bye.